Hello and welcome back. I'm Mondef, of course, and I am back on the Vanilla Woods server where we play in the snapshots. Woohoo! Today I have a large project I want to get working on. Ouch, missed that jump. I'm gonna get right to it. I've kind of joked and I've suggested and I've kind of alluded and I can't jump today. I've all but told you guys I'm building an elevator. So I'm building an elevator. I have done some work in a creative world and I've designed a neat little elevator. Most elevators have one or both of two problems. I should have silk touched that. That was stupid. Yeah, one or both of two problems. The first problem is it only going up one floor. Like, you push a button, it goes up and or down from one floor to another, and that's it. And of course, we have several different floors here, so that's not going to work. So that's the first problem. And it's not really an elevator. It's just, well, I mean it's an elevator. It just only goes up one floor. What's the point of having an elevator that only goes up one floor? All right, I'm just going to say that. Okay. The other problem, if you do make it so that you can go up multiple different floors, you either have complex selection systems or the redstone gets humongous, or both. So either the redstone is ridiculously large, or it only goes up and down between one floor. So I did a lot of work in the creative world, and I think I've come up with something pretty cool. Again, I hesitate to say it's new, because, Minecraft. I have a thing for encountering skeletons with flame bows today. Nice. But I think it's new. I think the concept's new. At least, I should say, I haven't seen anybody who's done anything like it before. So that's good. But we're going to get right down to work here. I've talked about it long enough. I have off camera done a little bit of work I want to show you guys. It's been close to death at least 5 times. So I've dug out the shaft. Now, I don't really need all of this space. I dug it out for convenience sake. And you'll see as we build the project today. But unrelated to the elevator. Mostly Palm and a little bit of me, worked out this space. So we have got it fully dug out now for our slime spawner, which is awesome. So you can see you got slimes down there in a canal. And yeah, if you're looking at this, that is 3 blocks, 1 block, 3 blocks, 1 block, and we'll use that later. It's important for the mechanics I plan to build. Those guys are noisy. I'm going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of redstone, get constructing, and I will show you guys every step of the build as we move forward. Alright, I've got a whole bunch of redstone supplies. It should be enough to get us rolling here. And up elevators have been around for a long time. Well, there are some up and down ones, but again, they run into those problems that we talked about a moment ago. But up elevators, specifically up piston elevators, they've been around for a long time, so I claim no credit for this part of the design. I don't know where it came from. I found it a number of different places when I searched. So I really don't know where it came from first. But the basic idea, I'll just get rid of these for a moment, is that you want to have a sticky piston. I guess I need blocks to help place here. Sticky piston that faces forward, and then a regular piston that faces upwards. So the sticky piston will fire, which will push the regular piston out, and then the normal piston will fire, which will push you up, like that. And then you have another series of these where you have a sticky piston and a normal piston. Not like that. That'd be not like that either. Like that. There we go. We have another sticky piston and a normal regular piston, and it pushes you up again. So this design is the basics, and then when you retract these things, you want to retract this one, and then that one, and then you retract that one. Well, no. This one first, and then that one, so that they all retract back into the wall, and then so you end up with this kind of back and forth or a checkerboard type pattern all the way up your elevator height. So I'm going to go ahead and place a whole bunch of pistons. Since this will be kind of boring, I'll cut and I'll show you guys what it looks like once those pistons are all in place. Alright, I've got all the pistons placed. Now on my way back down, I'm taking care of the cobblestone that's between the pistons that I used to place against, since we don't need them there. In fact, they get in the way down the road, so it's just easier to get rid of them now. So that's going to be the back side of the elevator shaft, because of course the pistons will be pushing us. The sides, I think I want to build out of, this is just raw andesite. It's a good block. I tend to build with polished a lot more than the normal raw andesite, but I think this will be a good change. So we're going to go ahead and build the edges out of that. I want to try to go up and down as few times as possible. So yeah, what we're going to do on this side, the wiring will be different for each side. But for this side, no, not like that. We're going to do like that. So I'm going to place blocks like this right there. Looks like I'm going to need to go get myself some more redstone. It's just going to be dust and torches, and I don't need the polished. There we go. So it'll be like that. So you can see that's the elevator motion we're looking for. Silk touch 1, efficiency 4, and breaking 3. Nice. And then go like that. My life's complete, yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to be pretty much repeating that pattern. Basically what we have here is a torch tower that alternates back and forth. And then connected to that an extra piece of redstone dust that powers this raw andesite, giving us the elevator motion that we want from the pistons. So I'm going to go ahead and place a whole bunch of redstone, and I'm going to go up and down each side, and I'll be back in a second. Really doing this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You kind of get into a flow, and you can just, you don't have to think about the pattern anymore. And it just kind of goes. Now the pattern on this side is a little bit different. There we go. Then the pattern on the other side, it's the exact same wiring, but instead of going straight, you put the wire a block higher. So that's the only thing different, and that's just to support the higher piston on this side. Now there is one small problem that I didn't think of until I was pretty close to being all the way to the top here, and that is my ladder is gone now, because my ladder was right there. So I guess I'm gonna have to kind of make up my own way down. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of lag on the server today. That's just me. It's not the server or anything. It's just my fault. Alright, so that is good to go. I'm going to leave this cobblestone wall here for the time being. And I guess I get to get down the fun way. Let's get some ladders on my bar here. And Geronimo. And Geronimo. Nice. Piece of cake. Alright. So now we've got all of these pistons extended, which is, you know, kind of the exact opposite of what we want. So we're just going to come down here underneath the torch towers. Get some light in this area. Don't want creepers spawning in on us. And here's the torch tower. And right here, just add one more torch. And we get that beautiful elevator sound. Alright, we're going to make this cobblestone just so it's all matchy. Beautiful. Good, good. So now, according to my first video, I'm back on the Pro Toaster YouTube account. Oh, recording on my first. Oh. I don't understand. Recording my first video back on the Pro Toaster YouTube account. Okay, he's going back to an old account, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to check up with him later. Alright, so what we want is, let's see, the lower one to fire first. So this side's, well, I guess that one's lower than that one, but this one's lower than that one. Yes, the signal's going to come in from the left side. So there, that dictates the lower one. So this one and then that one. So we want this one to fire first and that one to fire second. So what we're going to do is throw a repeater in here. We're just going to make it fire just a little bit later than the other one. And at this point we should have a working elevator. We'll just move that torch right there. So, oh, you're kidding me. Oh, that's horrible. Alright. One piece of redstone shy of having a working elevator. Oh, no. We can make this work. Do that, and then we'll do that. There we go. Oh, we don't need that. Oh, there's another problem, and that we'll fix that. Well, I don't want that to be like that. Let's use, just in case things don't work quite so well, I'm going to use a slime block. So that should be a working elevator. There we go, it works. Works great. Now I'm lagging on the server, which is why I fell out. That's not the elevator design's fault, that's my internet's fault. That said, I am the one who's going to be using this, and sometimes my internet is like this, so the design does have a fix so that we don't have to go all the way to the top to fall all the way to the bottom and get back up. Well, let's try this one more time. Yeah, so you can see I got up past this floor but then didn't make it quite to the second floor. One more try. We'll see how high we can get here. Part of it is as well getting in the right spot. Bam! All the way to the top, like a pro. Alright. Elevator works great. Everything is good and happy. This is where the common design ends and my work is going to start to begin. The work that I've done. What? Are you kidding me? I fell in... There's slime blocks. Bug. I call bugs. So, yeah, I built the entire elevator backwards. What I mean is that that should go there and not here. And it doesn't seem like it should make a difference, and it kind of doesn't, except the next part of the build. It really does. It really messes up everything. So I've got to switch all of these. Yeah, this is not gonna be fun. I don't enjoy this. Okay, now on account of the fact that I had to swap all these guys over from one side to the other, we actually will need to readjust all of the redstone. Oh man, I mean, see how these pistons don't extend anymore and those ones don't extend back there? It's because they're all now in the wrong places. Alright, time to tear down all the redstone and start over. Alright, the switcheroony is complete. Everybody is now on the correct side of the world. That was an annoying mistake to have to go fix. And this should now work. Oh. Oh. Yeah, well, that wouldn't work, would it? Yeah, this has all gotta... Actually, it's gotta go down another one, doesn't it? Well... Let's see, because now this is in the way of passing the power through. So, we're gonna have to power this a different way. We can just continue the torch tower down another sequence. There you can hear all the torch tower, hear all the pistons running. We just put this, plop this here like that. And retracting. Do the same thing on this side. Just like that, perfect. And now, again, we should be able to run the power in. These are going to stay, so we'll replace these with cobblestone. Repeater. There you are. There we go. Perfect, just like that. Test the button. Everything looks good. We're going to be fixing this. I don't want to be jumping up on a block to get into my elevator. And there we go. Everything works great except for my lag. Okay. So, next thing that we want to do is, I don't want to be placing this block up here every time, so I'm just going to throw a sticky piston down underneath here, and we need that to fire before anything else in the sequence does. So, in fact, if we run this wire around this way, like that, that should do the trick. Let's go ahead and test that, make sure we're good to go. Crumb and Wings dies to a zombie. So that works perfectly. Don't die. Okay. I'm afraid these slime blocks are bugged or something. I can't imagine I hit what I hit last time I did this. Not my fault, I think. I don't think this piston elevator should cause that kind of lag. No, he just got kicked offline. I'm gonna go with it's not my fault. Okay. So that should work, and that works great. So this is a standard up elevator design that goes from one floor to another floor. In this case, from the very bottom to the very top, assuming you don't lag out, or the server doesn't get overloaded or stuff like that. But I don't want to go all the way to the top. I only want to go up one floor for pushing the button one time. So let me get prepped to make that alteration, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next part is each one of these floors shouldn't be wide and open. Otherwise, all you'll do when you get into the shaft is fall all the way down to the bottom floor. And we want to be able to choose here on this floor whether to go up or to go down. So we need something to stand on, so I'm going to use slime blocks because we will be using falling as our down mechanism, so I don't want to take any fall damage, so hence slime blocks. And since we want to be able to go down even further, we are going to need some sticky pistons on either side here to make it so that we can pull the slime blocks out of the way so we can actually fall. So we'll go ahead and put that andesite back. There we go. So now we can, now we just need to wire up these pistons so that we can actually fall. And there's another problem. When I'm taking the elevator up, they're now in my way. So let's solve this problem first. Otherwise, the pistons that come out to push me up will actually push around the slime blocks. So that's the first problem I want to solve, is to get these slime blocks out of the way. Now, each one of these sides ends up being wired differently. And that's because each one of these sides is different. I mean, you know, this is the piston's on this level, as opposed to on the other side the piston is up here on this level. And so it creates a bit of a problem, just a bit. For this side, this side's actually the more complicated side, which is why I want to get it taken care of first. We want to default this piston into an extended position. Of course, we just do that with a redstone torch. So that's a piece of cake. And then we want to invert that torch as the signal comes up from downstairs. So we could run a wire, you know, up here that tells it when it's supposed to go off, and so that it tracks in time. But we already have the signal. It's over here. This is already a vertical torch tower signal that transfers up and tells the pistons when to fire. So why not tie this piston into that existing torch tower system? And that's exactly what I intend to do. I'm just going to come down here. The trick is we need to make sure we pull from the correct point in the signal. If we pull from here, in other words, if we make this one retract at the same time as this one is extending, who knows which one will fire first. So we actually want to pull it from beneath here. So we want to pull from there, and I'm going to put a block here. This will allow me to make the redstone come up, while at the same time not interacting with that redstone, which does need to power that block for the existing elevator system. And of course we don't want it to interact with that block for the same reason. It needs to power where the slime block will be so that this piston extends. Right? Okay. And then we just need to get it over to this torch to invert it. So just like that. So now this side will retract with the piston. Ouch. Now while each of these sides will need to get wired a little bit differently, if memory serves, this side is actually nope, I don't remember. I gotta go check my single player world. Alright. It's a good thing I checked. I was a block too high. Here's this torch tower again. The other side, here's the torch, and we're just gonna pull from that torch and make it run into this torch, which will control that. A block on top of this will cut this wire, allowing this to properly block or properly power this block for the extending upwards piston, and allowing this to properly connect to the torch so that it can be inverted. There we go. So now what we should see, and I haven't tested this in multiplayer, so this will be the first multiplayer test. When I push this, this piston should extend, the elevator should fire, and those should get out of the way so that the piston elevator can continue up. And we're just going to watch it the first time. That looked really good. Doesn't look like any blocks are pushed out of place by misfiring pistons. Let's go ahead and take it and make sure it works for us. It didn't work. It's not promising. Oh no, this whole design isn't going to work in multiplayer, is it? Oh no. Oh no! Well, that worked. It worked that time. It worked. It worked! So that, maybe I was not in the right place. Let's try this one more time. If it's only going to work 1 out of 7 times, it's not going to be very reliable. We need it to work at least, I'd say in order for this to be successful, at least 2 out of every 3 times needs to work. Oh wow. That's lag. That's crazy lag. Haha! It worked. It took me up a floor. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Alright, so I'm going to chalk this up to lag. I'm going to need to test this later when there's less lag. But I don't know if this is going to happen on a regular basis. That worked that time. So it's semi-reliable. I think the lag today on the server is a little bit rough, and I'm not sure why. What's our entity count at? 121? That's not too bad. It's just maybe my internet's kind of unreliable. I'll have to have Pfhorpalm try it and see if it works for him. I'm going to finish 1 floor of the elevator, and then I'm going to give it probably a week to test it. And if it works for both me and Palm, then we'll go ahead and build out the other floors. But we have other we have other things that we need to work on to make this elevator before we can really be testing it correctly. Oh, how about that? Okay, now that we can get from that floor up to this floor, I want to be able to get back down. And of course, there's no button or anything like that for me to be able to do that. So I need a couple buttons. I've got a couple buttons here. There we are. Blink, blink. There we go. And one of these buttons will take us down, and one of these buttons will take us up. And I don't know, just let's go with left takes you down. So we're just going to do a very simple wiring now to these these pistons, which are inverted. Oh, I'm not being consistent in my build. Let's go ahead and be consistent in the build. These andesite blocks are the they're the fancy front-facing. So this is where the player will be. This is the front-facing block. So we're just going to run this wire nice and easy. I think we'll actually bring this. Oh no, I didn't mean to fall right there. Let's just go ahead and run the whole wiring set. Just do that. And I'm doing this instead of going straight again because I have to come back over to connect to this torch anyway. So I'll just go ahead and do that like this. That's a bit of a problem for this bottom floor. This is the sub-basement. It really wasn't designed to fit here. I don't know that there's anything I can do about that. That's just gonna have to be the way that is. Okay. So that'll work, and then we'll use redstone and we'll go down like this, and that just will need to connect to each of the different sides. I need to go down again. So I get right there. I did. Okay. So that should. Oh, if I can get up here on the super slow ladder, which is why we're building elevators. All right. So this button should let me down now. There we go. I didn't mean to jump. That's my fault. Alright, there we go. Alright, line up. Up we go. And see, the elevator works. It takes me all the way to the top. Actually, there should be a block here. This last one doesn't need to be a piston because I don't need to go up anymore, but I do want a block here so that it pushes me off so I actually end up here. So we'll go ahead and go down. By the way, if you hold space, if you didn't know that, you can, you only go as high as you normally jump, so you only go one block up instead of going half your fall distance. So you fall all this way and you would bounce halfway back up if you didn't hold space. So this button should let me down. This button should let me down. There we go. A little bit of lag there. Probably my internet, again, I keep apologizing for my internet, but it does suck. So that is good to go. Great! Thank you so much for the lightning. Fantastic. Is it nighttime? Can I go sleep? I might be able to go sleep. Alright, so that lets us get down from a higher floor. So now comes the tricky part. I need to be able to get from here. I need to go up more. Now, on the bottom floor, we use this trick where we put a piston underneath the slime block, but we can't do that here because, you know, obviously there's no piston down there, and so we need this slime block to get out of the way so that this piston can pick us up. But at the same time, we don't want this to get out of the way. We don't need this slime block to get out of the way for so long that we fall before this piston gets underneath our feet. So that redstone gets a little bit hairy, and this is what took me so long in my creative world to get figured out, this portion of it. And then I spent a long time compacting it because my original design was a lot larger. But I'm going to go ahead and sleep away the lightning storm. And so I'll be back in just a sec, ready to wire up this next section. I just made an amazing discovery, and I had to share it with you guys, and it looks like we're about out of time for today's episode anyway, so I'm not going to be able to do the complex part of the wiring today. We'll get to it another day, unfortunately. Slime blocks make the best pillaring material that ever existed in the world. They're not susceptible to gravity, right? The only problem with them is that you do get slow, so it's not great for necessarily like regular scaffolding, but if you're just trying to get up and you know you're going to have to come back down, you can just, because you can break them instant mine, basically creative mine with your fist, you can go ahead and just knock them out really fast and just hold the mouse button down and spacebar. And hold the spacebar. There we go. Just like that. Nice. Get down really, really quickly. So yeah, that is going to be probably in my inventory when I build now in survival, because at least when I'm doing vertical builds. Besides as well, when you're doing vertical builds, you can kind of, build yourself a little trampoline, nice and easy, so that you can jump off of your tall builds. So I think this is going to be a very useful utility block, which I never would have thought of if I didn't have almost a whole stack of them in my inventory. So I'm glad I thought of that. Plus, slime is really easy to get a hold of once you've got yourself a little bit of a slime farm anyway. So, great block. And so you shouldn't really care if it like falls off of spaces and stuff like that. It's cheaper than dirt. Alright. Yep, unfortunately we're out of time. We'll get to wiring up this button at a later date. This is the complex wiring. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. It does help. And if you really liked, hit that sub button. Thanks for watching. I'm Mondef, and I'll see you guys next time.